Now for the so-called City Beautiful and home to the Madden Studios. This is EA Sports coverage of the National Football League from Orlando, Florida.
Hello again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Orlando team as they enter play. They're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
On the other side of the field, for our visitors here, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9?
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their 9th-year quarterback.
And I think if you ask most folks to give you their first half MVP, very likely they're going to say it's this man right here. The NFL's leader in touchdown passes to this point in the season. Still 2 months to go. But if he can keep going to the pace he's at, this is going to be a dangerous team come January, and he could very well walk away with the MVP.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 88 yards.
Well, obviously, he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 20.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete. It's Collins. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them.
They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball. Run it inside. Everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
Now 2nd and 5.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Caught by Nelson left side. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Right back to him on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The numbers for him from a week ago. 19 carries, 61 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Here's Burrow. Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
This drive didn't end well, but if they can keep stringing these together, they'll like what they're doing. That was an 8-play drive before it ended in a fumble. So the takeaway's got to be doing what we want to do and doing it well. Just got to take care of the ball at the end.
The home team's offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And as we transition into the second half of the season, he continues to put up big numbers on a consistent basis. Currently the NFL's leader in passing as we play here in the month of November. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right.
He'll get it here on the jet sweep.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after him.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 33 yards that time.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Burrow will throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
2nd and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring.
11.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. And they're going to get him. They bring him down the sack back at the 16-yard line. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Now on fourth down, out comes the field goal unit here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that'll make it 3-0 here in the first. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road, you're under the lights, national television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real, and a pretty nice opening statement.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you've got that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
Orlando with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 10.
Now he'll try to run with this.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards that time, and a first down on the keeper.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Cotton throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ford. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Looking to throw. Cotton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Manning. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun. Cotton. He's got it. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
And his kick is indeed good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
11-90.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Nelson.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 3.
Here we go.
Play action. It's Burrow. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Burrow. Flush to it, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Calling a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
And his kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's building his case for MVP consideration with each passing week. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes as we move into the back half of the season.
Throwing to start the drive. Cotton. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 33-yard line.
Back to throw. Cotton. And that's caught inside the 30. And touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because Nowadays, in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
He'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Burrow looking to pass. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll run on first down. It's Nelson.
He's got it to the 43 here.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up fourth.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And that is no good. And that will keep this a 4-point game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
Well, the home team's offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half.
Throwing to start the drive. Cotton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Looking to throw. Cotton. He finds his man. Complete. It's Manning. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Cotton. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down. And with his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game.
No doubt about it. You saw him running that angle route there and catching the ball. And with his size, not often thought to have hands, but we're hearing that more and more. Guys are doing a better job of catching the ball at any size coming out of the backfield, because they need to be a full part of the offense.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
At the 22-yard line.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And his kick is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you cross town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. Some great games still to come, and I think we highlighted one of the better ones right there, as that promises to be a tight one. Out on the West Coast, more good stuff in the late afternoon as we'll be watching the game at SoFi Stadium. Well, it will be the Chargers taking on what should be a
past the halfway point of the season and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime to get right back to the action.
Between the Jacksonville Jaguars and what equates to be a very tough opponent.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now it's Burrow. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sacked on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And he's run the ball well to this point in the season, right there in the mix for NFL leaders in rushing. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
Tough spot here, 3rd down and 11.
Back to throw. Cotton. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. And they'll send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18.
Holding offense.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now it's Burrow. Looking left side, and it's complete. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here.
Here we go.
Up the middle they go. Nelson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. Nelson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Here we go.
On first down, it's Nelson. And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's second down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
3rd and 20.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out. And a 5-yard penalty.
Ball start. Offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
11 coming. 11 empty.
They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt you.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
Orlando takes back over on offense. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing to start the drive. Cotton. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
Off the play fake. Cotton. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Looking to throw. Cotton. Touchdown! from 8 yards out. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Nelson. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 63 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And now they will throw it with Burrow. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. To the right side and intercepted. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers. Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there. Well, this offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent. And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Back to throw. Cotton. He finds his man. Complete. That's Collins. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back live to Orlando. as we're about ready to rock and roll for the fourth and final quarter.
Let's go now. Check.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And some space here.
Down the sideline he goes.
And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
What a run there. I mean, you've got speed, elusiveness, escapability all rolled into one.
And we all know that quarterbacks are coached. They get the ball to the guys who can do all the things you just described. You want those guys who have speed, elusiveness, and escapability all rolled into one with the ball in their hands. And guess what? It's him. So there's no sense in throwing it or handing it off when you can do all of that yourself.
And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
The ball on the 8 still could get a first down technically. 2nd and 7.
Looking to throw. Cotton. And it's caught. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. From 8 yards out. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator. And they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the fourth quarter. And I don't see them looking back.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. That time a 6-play drive.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The visitors' offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Here we go, here we go.
He'll look to throw. Caught by Nelson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there of 22.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
From the 21, here's 2nd down and 8.
Here we go. 12, 12, 12. 11, 11, 11, 11.
They'll keep it on the ground. Nelson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
75 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They'll drop to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit.
So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Orlando takes back over on offense. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And what a tough spot for this defense because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd down and 3.
Back to throw. Cotton. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ford. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a give right side. It's Alexander. He stiff arms it. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Operating from the gun. Cotton. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
Throw left side complete. That's Ford. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Looking to throw. Cotton.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll look to throw again. This is caught. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there.
With his 6th rushing touchdown on the year.
As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
And that right there is the definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line. And here, they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101? Check that box.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He completes it to Nelson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Back to throw now on first down. And a throw right sideline is complete. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and 4.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Back to throw again. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will be cut down to 14. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. And they will take a knee here. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will extend their lead even further. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. A final shot now for Burrow, and that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Orlando, the train just keeps rolling, 9-0 now to start this campaign. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for our visitors, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6.